If you didn't talk yourself into having borderline personality disorder, why are you expecting to be able to talk yourself out of it? If BPD was written into your nervous system through genetics, trauma, or an invalidating environment, the unwriting process requires more than just self-talk. You don't have to do this alone. We often treat mental health struggles like a lapse in willpower. But you can't logic away a biological vulnerability or a trauma response. Let's talk about why you need professional tools and structured support to rewire a system you didn't choose to have in the first place. This is important. I want you to cut yourself some slack. Stop trying to fix a hardware problem with software solutions. If you didn't talk yourself into the disorder, you aren't going to talk yourself out of it. That's true for any mental health condition, really. But BPD specifically is rooted in your nervous system and your brain's emotional processing centers. That's why I always say this is an information processing disorder. In this video, I'm explaining why thinking positive is like trying to install a new app on a broken screen and what it actually takes to heal from the inside out. So let's break down the biological and environmental roots of BPD and why pure logic fails during an emotional hijack. Healing requires co-regulation before self-regulation. And relying on professional help and resources is a strategic move, not a personal failure. So first of all, why does pure logic fail during an emotional hijack? Okay, so when you're triggered, your brain undergoes a physical shift. The amygdala, which is your alarm system, takes over and effectively shuts down the prefrontal cortex, which is your logic center. Now, during an emotional hijack, the thinking brain is offline. So trying to use logic to calm down a BPD spiral is like trying to use a laptop to put out a kitchen fire. It's the wrong tool for the job. So you have to address the physiological state of arousal before you can address the psychological one. So this is why we use bottom-up DBT skills to bring the body back to safety before we try to use top-down logic. So why does healing require co-regulation before self-regulation? Well, self-regulation, which is just calming yourself down, is a learned skill, not a default setting. Now, people are born with different temperaments and some are easier to soothe than others, but most people learn this as infants through co-regulation, which is when a caregiver's calm nervous system helps soothe the child's distressed one. And the problem is, many people with BPD grew up in invalidating environments where they never really received consistent co-regulation, or maybe none at all. So if you didn't have a nervous system to mirror as a child, you can't be expected to know how to self-soothe as an adult. So when we look at therapy or BPD coaching or skills groups, the therapist or coach acts as that external nervous system. So you borrow their calm until your brain can replicate it. You have to experience safety with someone else before you can create it within yourself. And lastly, how is relying on help a strategic move, not a personal failure? Well, think about it. We don't shame someone for going to a mechanic when their car's timing belt snaps, or going to the doctor when they have a broken arm. Yet we shame ourselves for needing a therapist when our emotional hardware is struggling. It's ludicrous if you think about it. If BPD was written into your system through a combination of genetics and environment, unwriting it requires a specialized set of tools. Seeking help isn't an admission that you aren't strong enough. It's an admission that you're smart enough to realize this is a technical problem that requires a technical solution. Now, if you're ready for the professional tools and community support needed to navigate this, I'd love for you to join my TikTok BPD Skills subscription group. Just tap the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. I'll see you there.